It's nearly impossible to find someone who doesn't use a social media platform these days. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or even LinkedIn, social media continues to take up a growing portion of our daily lives. Social media has become one of our primary forms of digital communication, entertainment, and a place to share information and ideas. Social media use has become increasingly common in daily life, used by billions of people on a regular basis. Recent social media usage statistics are staggering, showing nearly 75% of adults in the United States use social media and over 90% of teenagers. This dramatic rise in social media use prompts the question, how much is too much? While there are positive cases for social media, it can also cause a series of harmful effects on its users. Out of all age groups, teenagers are most susceptible to social media's destructive and addictive nature due to excessive usage. Teenagers are particularly vulnerable to the negative effects of social media as they are still in their developmental years. On average, children begin to explore social media from the ages of 10 to 12, rapidly discovering how communicating online can help them make friends, connect with family, assist with homework, share music, and, of course, engage in entertainment and games. By the age of 17, approximately 75% of teens already have at least one active social media account, and over 2/3 of teenagers have a mobile device they personally own that has access to the internet. In fact, most families these days provide their children with technological devices like cell phones or tablets, allowing them to connect to social media. This age group is most vulnerable to feelings of social isolation and depression, which can be fostered by all of the social comparison that is a huge part of social media. The most common negative emotional effects for excessive users of social media include depression, frustration, and social comparison. Studies show that the longer someone spends on social media, the more likely they are to experience decreased quality in their personal relationships and see a negative impact on their emotional well-being. As prevalent as social media is today, it's also responsible for intensifying mental health problems and directly affecting the quality of real-life social relationships in a negative way, especially in children and teenagers. Social media can evoke feelings of envy that lead to depression and anxiety, potentially causing a downward spiral in psychological well-being. Social isolation, social comparison, and social peer pressure all contribute to increased depression on social media platforms, especially in young adults. According to a 2017 study, the use of social media platforms also led to lower body satisfaction and self-esteem in young women. The personal comparison that social media promotes is tied to body dissatisfaction due to comparisons to models and actresses, who are the standard for physical beauty in today's media. In women, dissatisfaction with their bodies can lead to harmful conditions such as eating disorders like bulimia or anorexia. The European Scientific Journal found that approximately 88% of people engage in social comparison on Facebook, showing a direct link between social media use and lower self-esteem. A study from the University of Pennsylvania showed that using Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram can increase a person's feelings of loneliness and depression. Many times, these feelings can manifest as suicidal thoughts or worse. The current opinion on psychiatry noted that suicide is one of the leading causes of death in those aged 10 to 24 years old worldwide, and that an independent association exists between the problematic use of social media and suicide attempts in young adults. Another study noted how physicians and emergency departments could quickly assess a patient's mental health status just by viewing their social media accounts. That makes sense, especially with teenagers. According to the University of Nevada School of Medicine, 50% of teens ages 13 to 17 visit online and social media platforms multiple times a day, Teens on average can spend a staggering 70 minutes online daily, while teenage girls specifically spend over 140 minutes per day online. That's nearly 2.5 hours. If your teenager is using social media for more than 120 minutes every day, it might be cause for concern. If your teenager is engaging in social media in unhealthy ways, such as cyberbullying or sexting, immediate action is necessary to help your teen and safeguard them from harm or prevent them from harming others. Parents of teenagers should take note if their child is acting differently and look for problematic behaviors that could be an indication of suicide risk. The University of Utah highlighted the problem with teenage suicides and acknowledged that parents are the first line of defense. Social media platforms can endanger the public with their pro-violence, discriminatory algorithms, which prioritize profits over public safety. The Social Media Victims Law Center works to hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. If you believe your teen has already been negatively affected or harmed by the effects of social media, please contact us today for a free case evaluation. The Social Media Victims Law Center can help you hold social media companies accountable.